Most people think third place means you failed. In the old World Cup, that was basically true. Finish third in your group, pack your bags, give one emotional interview at the airport, and disappear for 4 years. Not anymore in the new World Cup format. Third place might be enough. Not always, not safely, not comfortably, but enough. And that one change completely rewrites how the group stage works. Because now the group stage is not just about finishing first. It is not even just about finishing second. It is about surviving the mathematics. It is about knowing when a draw is valuable, when a one-goal loss is acceptable, when a yellow card could cost you your tournament, and when one meaningless-looking goal in another stadium changes everything. This is the World Cup group stage explained, and this is why third place matters. Here is the basic structure first. 48 teams enter the World Cup. They are split into 12 groups of 4. Groups A through L. Each team plays 3 matches. Not 2, not 5, 3. You play the other 3 teams in your group once each. Win 3 points. Draw 1 point, lose 0. That part is simple enough. It is the same points system football has used forever. But what happens after those 3 matches is where the new format gets dangerous. The top 2 teams in every group advance automatically. 12 groups, 2 teams each, that gives you 24 teams. But the knockout stage now needs 32 teams. So FIFA needs 8 more. That is where third place comes in. Out of the 12 teams that finish third in their group, the best 8 also advance. 4 third place teams go home, 8 survive, same position, completely different ending. 1 third place team walks into the round of 32, another third place team, with almost the same record, flies home. That is the entire tension. And this is why the third place race is so brutal. You are not only competing against the teams in your own group, you are competing against teams you never played, in groups you might not even be watching, in stadiums thousands of miles away. A team in Group B can ruin a team in Group J. A goal in Group H can save someone in Group C. A red card in Group K can change the table for everyone. That is not normal football logic. That is World Cup group stage logic. Let us make it simple. Imagine your team finishes third with 4 points. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. That usually feels decent, not amazing. Not terrible. You did not dominate the group, but you did not collapse either. In this format, 4 points is usually strong. It probably gets you through. Not guaranteed, but strong. Now imagine you finish third with 3 points. 1 win, 2 losses. That is where everything becomes uncomfortable. 3 points might be enough if your goal difference is good. It might not be enough if other third-place teams drew more matches. You are not just asking, did we win a game? You are asking, did we lose badly? Did we score enough? Did we collect too many cards? Did the other groups produce too many draws? That is the difference. In the old group stage, a 1-0 loss and a 4-0 loss both gave you 0 points. Obviously, goal difference mattered for rankings. But if you were third, you were usually done anyway. In this format, the size of the loss can decide whether you are still alive. Lose 1-0 to a favorite, and that might be a respectable result. Lose 4-0, and you have not just lost a match. You may have destroyed your third place chances. This is why third place changes the psychology of the tournament. Before, if a smaller team faced a giant in the first match and lost, the tournament could feel almost over. Now a narrow loss can still be part of the plan. That sounds negative, but it is real. Sometimes the mission is not to win the group. Sometimes the mission is to survive it. That means managers think differently. Players think differently. Fans panic differently. A team might be losing 2-1 in the 88th minute and still attack like they need a goal, not because they can win, but because a 2-2 draw gives them a point. Or because a 2-1 loss is much better than a 3-1 loss. Or because scoring 1 late goal could improve their goals scored total if the third place table gets tight. That is the part casual viewers miss. Not every late goal changes the result. Some goals change the future. A team losing 3-0 in the final minutes might still throw everyone forward for 1 goal. On the scoreboard, it looks pointless. You still lost. Your fans are still miserable. Your goalkeeper still wants to disappear, but in the third place table, 3-1 is not the same as 3-0. That 1 goal might matter later. It might be the difference between -2 and -3 goal difference. It might be the extra goal scored that wins a tiebreaker. It might be the reason you are still in the tournament 3 days later. Football loves pretending every goal is emotional in the group stage. Every goal is mathematical, and then there are draws. Draws become incredibly strange in this format. A draw is only 1 point, so it does not feel like much. But in a 4-team group, 1 point can be massive. 3 draws gives you 3 points. You did not win a match. You did not lose a match. You just existed in the most frustrating way possible. And that might still keep you alive if other groups are chaotic enough. 1 win and 2 losses gives you 3 points. 3 draws gives you 3 points. Same total, very different feeling. The team with 1 win looks more impressive. The team with 3 draws might have better goal difference. If both are sitting third, suddenly the boring team has a chance. This is where the third place format creates a tournament inside the tournament. Your normal group table decides first and second. The invisible table decides who survives from third, and the invisible table is ruthless. First, points. then goal difference, then goals scored, then team conduct, which basically means discipline. Yellow cards, red cards, the things fans scream about for 5 seconds and then forget. Except now, you cannot forget them. A yellow card in match 1 can matter in match 3. A red card in a game you already lost can follow you into the third place table. Time wasting, arguing, reckless tackles, all of it can become part of the calculation. Imagine going out of the World Cup not because you had fewer points, because you scored fewer goals, but because your team collected more cards. That sounds ridiculous until it happens. Then everyone suddenly reads the rulebook. This is why third place does not just reward teams who attack, it rewards teams who manage chaos. You need enough points to stay alive. You need enough goals to beat other third place teams. You need not to concede too many. You need not to lose your head. You need to understand that the tournament is bigger than the 90 minutes in front of you. That is the new group stage. Now, let us talk about the first match because it matters more than people think. In a 3-match group, the first match is not just an opener. It sets the entire emotional temperature of the group. Win the first match, and everything changes. You have 3 points. You are probably 1 draw away from being in a strong position. You can manage the next 2 games. You can rotate later. You can force the other teams to chase. Lose the first match, and suddenly every decision becomes heavier. Match 2 becomes a survival match. Match 3 becomes either a final or a funeral, but third place gives losing teams one thing they did not always have before: a narrow path back. Lose your first match 1-0, then win your second match, and you are on 3 points with 1 game left. You might not be comfortable. You are alive. Win the third, you are almost certainly through. Draw the third, maybe. Lose the third narrowly, and you are staring at other groups like your life depends on strangers. That is where the World Cup becomes cruel, because sometimes you finish your group and you do not know yet. You have done your part. 3 matches played. Bags half packed. Phones out. Everyone watching another match in another group. You are not on the pitch anymore, but your tournament is still happening. Some team you have never played needs not to win by 2. Another team needs not to score late. A goalkeeper in a different city makes a save, and your players celebrate in a hotel lobby. A defender in another match switches off at the back post, and your World Cup is over. No other stage of the tournament does this quite like the group stage. The knockout stage is simple: win, continue, lose, disappear. It is brutal. But at least it is clear. The group stage is different. It is pressure with paperwork. It is hope with spreadsheets. It is the only part of the World Cup where you can lose and still survive. Win and still panic, finish third and still dream. And that is why third place matters. It keeps more teams alive for longer. That sounds like a small thing. It is not. For smaller nations, it changes everything. In the old format, 1 bad match against a powerhouse could destroy the tournament now. The target might be more realistic. Beat the team closest to your level, keep the score respectable against the favorite, steal a draw somewhere else, and see what happens. That is not cowardice. That is tournament football. Not every country arrives at the World Cup expecting to lift the trophy. Some are trying to reach the knockout stage for the first time. Some are trying to prove they belong. Some are trying to give their fans one night they will remember forever. For those teams, third place is not a consolation prize, it is a doorway. But for bigger teams, third place is embarrassing and useful at the same time. A favorite finishing third in the group has probably done something wrong. Maybe they lost the opener. Maybe they rotated too much. Maybe they underestimated someone. The group was harder than expected. But if third place keeps them alive, everything resets. That is the terrifying part. A giant can stumble through the group stage, finish third, barely qualify, then suddenly become dangerous in knockout football. Nobody cares how you got there once you are there. The bracket does not ask if you look convincing. It only asks if you are still in it. This creates a strange situation. The group stage can punish you and save you at the same time. Finish first, and you probably get the cleanest path. Finish second, and you are still safe. Finish third, and you enter the knockout stage through the side door. Covered in stress, but alive. And alive is enough. Now the final group matches become absolute chaos. The last matches in each group are played at the same time for a reason. Football learned this the hard way. If one team knows exactly what result it needs because the other match already finished, the incentives can get ugly. So the matches happen together. That means the table is moving in real time. At minute 70, one team is first. At minute 74, they are second. At minute 80, they are third but still advancing. At minute 87, a goal in the other match drops them out entirely. Then in stoppage time, one corner changes everything again. This is the best version of the group stage. Complete disorder, pretending to be organized sport. And the third place table makes it even worse. Because now the question is not only, are we top 2? It is, if we finish third, are we better than the other third place teams? So a team might be losing its own group battle but still surviving overall. Another team might be third in its group and completely doomed. Same group position. Different reality. This is why commentators start talking about goal difference like accountants. This is why fans start calculating scenarios on napkins. This is why managers keep asking assistants for updates from other stadiums. And this is why you should never ignore a group stage match just because it does not involve a favorite. The most important goal of the day might come from a team most people are not watching. A late goal for a team already eliminated can knock someone else out. A draw between two teams in one group can make 4 points the magic number in another. One red card can change team conduct. One goalkeeper mistake can change goal difference. One extra goal can decide who gets the final third-place spot. The World Cup group stage is not 12 separate groups. It is one giant machine. Every match turns a gear. That is the real lesson. Third place matters because it connects everything. It turns the group stage from a set of mini-leagues into a tournament-wide puzzle. It gives more teams hope, but it also creates more ways to suffer. And football loves suffering, especially organized suffering, especially suffering with tables. So when you watch the group stage, do not only look at who is first. Everyone looks at first. First is easy, first is clean, look at third. Third is where the drama lives. Third is the team trying to decide whether to attack or protect goal difference. Third is the manager pretending not to check the other score. Third is the fan asking if 4 points is enough. Third is the player who knows one yellow card might matter. Third is the team that does not know whether to celebrate or cry. Third place is not failure anymore. It is uncertainty. And uncertainty is what makes the group stage beautiful. 48 teams, 12 groups, 3 matches each. The top 2 go through. 8 third-place teams survive. 4 third-place teams go home. That is the format. But the format is not the story. The story is the team that scores in the 93rd minute and still finishes third. The team that loses narrowly to a giant and later realizes that narrow loss saved them. The team that waits in a hotel room watching another match decide their future. The team that thinks it is out, then suddenly is not. The team that thinks it is safe, then one goal somewhere else destroys everything. That is why the group stage matters. Because before the knockout stage gives you simple cruelty, the group stage gives you complicated hope. Now you know what to watch. Not just the table, not just the points. Watch the goal difference. Watch the yellow cards. Watch the third place race. Watch the final minutes of matches that look finished. Watch the other group, watch the invisible table. Because in this World Cup, third place might be enough, and enough is all a team needs. The game has not changed, you have. You're welcome.